All right, it's time for another trip around the Mesa. It is brought to you by MRC. We are joined now by the women's track and field coach from San Diego State. She is Coach Burrell. Coach, obviously, it is a very different time for all of us. We wanted to catch up. I don't say this. I say this with a lot of value in it. How is everyone doing? How's the health? How are you and your loved ones?
So far, so good. Everybody's fine. My family, my husband and I are doing great. You know, my grandmother, who's 86 years old, I was concerned about, but she seems to be just fine. So everybody's doing well.
Good. Very happy to hear that. Can you tell us, what is it like? What's a normal day for you? Obviously, it's different circumstances for everyone, but what's a normal day for you and your staff right now?
Well, a day like today is actually, today's probably my busiest work day. You know, we're still tasked with things to do here. Today's my day. I have my most meetings. I think I have a total of 3 or 4 Zoom meetings today. But typically it's, you know, I'm an early riser, so I'm usually a 6 a.m., 5 a.m. up in the morning kind of person. You know, my clock starts about 7 now, you know, which is late, early for most, but probably late for me, 7:30. But the day is just kind of going through a checklist of to-dos, and making sure everything's done for, you know, the office, for the team, with my assistants. And then, you know, I try to get out and do something, try to get out and walk or exercise or run or do something. And like my athletes, if my athletes are watching us, there's lots of sleep going on.
What is the communication like right now with you and your athletes? Is it a lot of Zoom meetings, or what's the communication like?
You know, track is an interesting sport in that we don't have, I have a lot of athletes on the team. So I also have 5 assistant coaches. And so each event coach, for the most part, is responsible for communicating with their event group. You know, you think about a sport like track, we're not just one sport, we're like 5 sports in one, because you have throwers, you have jumpers, you have distance runners, you have sprinters, you know, there's all these different event areas that are kind of unique in their personalities and ways of communicating. And so I've been able to just sort of kind of do the broad stroke overview with the entire team and meet with my staff once a week and check in with them, send some text messages out to my immediate group. I follow everybody on social media, and so I'm checking in on them. Academically, I think that's the biggest challenge for this time, I think, for us and for probably the athletes, but for me, is academically, you know, making sure that the athletes are staying on task. And that's been my biggest reminders for my kids is the academic piece.
So just can you take us back to the moment? Obviously, so much has changed over the last couple of weeks, but the moment you found out what was going to happen with the spring schedule, and then even what's happening with the Summer Olympics getting moved to 2021, just what was your reaction and what's the feel been?
Well, you know, when it first happened, I was in a little bit of, I don't know, a haze of disbelief, because I was actually at the NCAA Indoor Championships. We had qualified a 4x4 relay that had never qualified to indoor championships before. We'd set the school record. We were ranked in the top 10 in the country, and we were at the championships. I had traveled taken a heptathlete, Asia Smith, to NCAA indoors, and she was going to be the second pentathlete in school history to go to NCAA indoors. And so we were already having a great indoor season and doing some really special things. And so when they canceled the championship first, you know, that was a big disappointment. And then come to find out after that, they canceled the whole season. I think we were in a little bit of, is this true? Is it really happening? Is it not? In the beginning, and as time went on, it became clear that this was really serious, and you know, we need to take some precautions. And unfortunately, you know, I'm very happy with this team. This is probably one of the best teams I have in terms of talent, as well as just, I have some great kids right now, some really, really good kids that I like. And so not having a spring season, you know, is a little disappointing, because I was really looking forward to what they were doing, because looking forward to how they would do, because they put in such hard work this fall in indoor, and they really were bought into the goals that we had as a team. So it's a little disappointing from that point of view.
Have you had an opportunity to speak with any of your former athletes? I know you brought up a few names and obviously some disappointment this season, but have you had the opportunity to speak with a few of the former athletes?
I talk to Ashley Henderson all the time. So I talked to Ashley quite a bit. Bonnie Draxler and I just, DM'd each other on Instagram yesterday. I think it was yesterday. And I still talk to Jasmine Burrell and Allison Reeser. I still coach Allison Reeser. She and I are in communication often. And so, yeah, I still talk to a lot of those athletes. And they're all plugged in and love the program. And I appreciate their support for me and all the girls.
Coach Burrell, thank you so much for taking time. Stay safe, stay healthy. We're thinking about you and your team, and we do really appreciate your time today.
All right, thank you.